JGTC, or All Japan Grand Touring Car Championship, is renowned worldwide. Even if you don't know it by name, there's no doubt in my mind that you haven't seen at least one piece of media from it, whether it's a clip, video, or from Gran Turismo. All the classics from the 90s and early 2000s, battling it out from Supras to 993s. But there was a car in the GT300 class from 97 and 98 that has always piqued my interest. It's not an S14 Silvia, Porsche, or even a Ferrari. It's a Chevy Cavalier.
Horrible!
But how did this happen? You're really telling me that this was racing this? People not located in North America might not truly understand how absolutely wacky this sight is. Cavaliers were a car that was basically sold from the factory as a used car. I could see the smell of shitty weed, one stale McDonald's fry, and a scuffed pink Motorola Razr being dealer optional extras. This was a car that your friend's older sibling, who was upper middle class but a little bit trashy, got from their parents as their first car. The trusty steed of the unapologetic, regular consumers of big gulps. And for it, of all things, to be presented in full race trim against some of the greatest cars of the 90s is honestly hilarious. But back to the original question. Why? Well, it's because of chickens. Strangely enough, this story starts all the way back in the years shortly after World War II. New processes in mass poultry farming brought chickens from a luxury good to a staple of the American diet, but had yet to gain similar levels abroad. American-grown chickens began to rapidly take over what was then the relatively niche poultry market, quickly growing by 23%, with American chickens making up almost half of the total consumption, ending in inevitable tariffs coming from both France and West Germany. LBJ clapped back with a tariff on some imports, namely light trucks, to fight fire with fire in 1968, as Volkswagen vans were technically light trucks and had been dunking on the absolutely foul domestic offerings, with a 25% tax now being added. It essentially killed off any semblance of competition between international and domestic car makers. Companies like Toyota were able to get around this for a number of years with loopholes, basically importing a pickup with no box, then slapping on an American-made box and calling it a day, only meeting the requirements of being technically assembled in America by the thinnest of margins. These loopholes were eventually stomped out by the American government in 1980, requiring automakers to find a new solution to get around the 25% tax. Toyota's solution was to partner up with GM, creating the group known as NUMMI, an acronym that sounds a lot more like a 6ix9ine song than an actual auto group. Together they would share platforms and work together to make the Toyota pickup in America, eventually rebranding Toyotas as GM products, like in the 5th gen Nova, which was in essence an 88.2 Corolla and not an 8.6 for some ungodly reason. But there was one particular quirk of the partnership that pertains to the story: the decision to sell the Chevy Cavalier in Japan. Now, this didn't really make a whole lot of sense coming from either parties. The Chevy Cavalier was intended to be an Americanized competitor to Japanese econoboxes. It was essentially a Japanese car made for Americans by Americans, only to be made in Ohio, then shipped to Japan without American branding in an attempt to do the reverse of the Geo brand, I guess. Needless to say, it sold like shit. This culminated in an odd decision to make one into a race car for the GT300 class in JGTC. Being that it was technically a Toyota, the Y Sports Cavalier was given a 3S GTE and somehow managed to look cool in the process thanks to the Bomex kit. Was the J body secretly a purebred machine born for the racetrack? No, but it didn't finish last. Little information is actually known about the car. So I don't really want to share any more information about it, as it's all very much so hearsay or totally unverifiable. Photos are scant, and video is even harder to find, requiring to sift through footage from races just to spot it in the background. I don't know if anyone even cares, but I've known about this car for a while and I just needed to tell someone. Something about having a car that your friend's grandma, who probably should lay off the cigarettes, drove to church with center lock wheels is unbelievably hilarious. I wish I had more information to share, but as previously mentioned, most of the things I was able to uncover were relatively unverifiable, so I'll have to leave any of the remaining research up to you. I just wanted to share this ridiculous automobile to you before it eventually loses its war with the sands of time. Thanks for watching.